in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little John. Today I just want to have a bit of a chat about, just a quick rave on about something you don't really hear people talking about too much in the home brew world, and that's failures. Yeah, those brews that didn't work, those things you tried that didn't come out like you expected. Yeah, that bottle you cracked with all that expectation of something amazing, and it didn't happen. Yeah. It's wonderful to think that every beer we make, as home brewers, is going to come out fantastic. And I've seen them. I've seen that there's brewers out there say, "Oh, I've done 70 beers and every one of them's been a cracker." Well, if that's true, bloody good for you. But I find it really freaking hard to believe that I'll admit, I've at this point in time I've done, oh God, I don't know, but well over 150 brews of all sorts of different kinds, and they've ranged from absolutely bloody terrible, to fantastic, and everywhere in between. And just as going out and buying commercial beers, you get some crackers, you get some bloody rubbish, and by and large you get a lot of average stuff. And actually I'm cracking a bottle of Murray's Golden Ale, Moon Boy. Haven't tried it before, been sitting there for a while, thought I'd give it a go. And funny enough, this is partly because of failures. Yesterday I had a couple of testers from a few beers I've done recently. Beers that have been discussed on the on videos. One I actually did a video of. That was the Hop Hash Ale with the Centennials, and Amarillo Hop Hash, and also the Arrogant Bastard clone. I did a bit of a taste on both of those yesterday, and let me tell you, not good. Not good. The Hop Hash Ale I have hopes for, on the basis that I have a whole keg of it. It's only a 9.5 litre keg, but I have a whole keg of it. I'm only going off at the moment half a dozen bottles that I bottled up. And what they've done, and I didn't take a video, but basically this was the second bottle of it I tried. I tried a bottle about a week ago. It's now, I think it's about 6 weeks since it's been bottled. It is cold here in the garage, so carbonation is struggling at the moment, and it was undercarbed. And I don't know how much of that was the full problem, and it had only been in the fridge for probably 24-36 hours before I cracked it. And what it came out like was, it looked like one of these New England IPAs. It was incredibly murky. It had really no carbonation at all. No head. There was like a layer of thin, which I'm thinking was, looking at it, was hop oil across the top, which could cause all sorts of problems with the head and stuff like that. It smelt nice. It didn't have the nose I thought it would have. But again, given it was my first time ever using the hop hash, didn't really know what to expect. And as I would have explained during the video when I was making it, I really didn't know. The alpha acids are a guess at best. So it was always a risky brew that was more likely going to turn out wrong than it was going to turn out good. And at the moment it looks like it's turned out wrong. This keg's going to go into the fridge very shortly after I've finished here. I'm just waiting on another keg to clean so I can do a transfer and put them both into the fridge. Just got myself a new bottle, 2.6 kilo gas bottle. I've upgraded from the SodaStream. There's another failure. The SodaStream bottles have changed recently, and ever since they will not seal in my system. I cannot get the bottle to seal into the adapter for the regulator, and as a result I've dumped 3 bottles of gas trying to get that problem sorted. One of the magic things with the SodaStream bottle is once you pierce the seal, you can't close it back up. So even though as soon as you realise you've got a gas leak, you can't back it off and stop. You lose the whole bottle. And at $19 a hit, no good. Yeah, so I had to bite the bullet before I really wanted to and go and buy the gas bottle. So it's done. So I'm just in the process of moving a few kegs around. I'm selling two of my 19 litre kegs to a mate from work. He's looking to just get into kegging. I'm cutting down on the amount of 19 litre kegs I've got. I've mentioned this previously, and I'm going to more of the 9.5. So I'll only have 2 19s here instead of 4, and I'll run 4 of the little fellas. So it's sort of working out all right. I've got a nice new dual outlet. Not a new, second hand, but I've never owned it before. It's new for me. Dual outlet output regulator, which I'll put on once I sort of work out where I'm going with the different beers. I haven't got a real clear go on how I want to split the gas up, but I will do that soon. So yeah, so I'm hoping that hop ash ale may come good once it's actually got some gas in it and can breathe some life into it. A little bit of time sitting in the keg, let it settle a bit. It may come good because there is some nice flavours there. So we'll see. But at the moment, I'm not really counting it, and I'm pretty much, as I said, putting it down as a failure. Second failure is the arrogant bastard clone, and really, I probably shouldn't say it's the arrogant bastard clone. The failure has been in the use of the hops. Now, I don't want any indication that the hops were not good. I've talked about where the hops came from. They were fresh hops from from a relatively new hop grower. They smelt wonderful, they were good looking hops, they felt good, there was plenty of stuff there. In this brew, they've not worked the way I intended them to. And that's probably something I need to go back and look at. Yeah, obviously it needs an adjustment on how many hops are needed and and how best to use them. Maybe such a big beer wasn't the best place to use these hops. They may have done better in a pale ale instead of a big malty mega very highly IBU'd beer. So I don't know. But the reality is, without the hop presence, that beer is just too sweet to drink. It's a very malty base. With the hops to balance it up, it works. But on its own, by the time you're halfway through a glass, it was getting pretty hard to drink. So, and obviously there's nothing that time in the bottle's going to do for that. So that one's going. So those bottles will get emptied over the weekend, next couple of days, and I will fill them up with the Russian Imperial Stout that I did a little while back. Yeah. So from failures comes other, rebirth, things go forward. You can do other things. I was wondering where I was going to get bottles from or struggling. Now I'll have some, so it's all good. Two failures, two brews back to back. It's not good. It's been a while since I've actually had, a run of beers that weren't good. And the last time I had that was, about 2 years ago, and we had a heap of mice, and the mice were just running amok, and I think the whole the whole air in the place was just full of mouse. And I lost about 5 brews in a row to infections. But this is the first time I've had more than a second beer in a row where the beer itself has been a failure. And such big failures too. Normally they've been drinkable. I can battle through half of it before I end up ditching it. But this one, don't think so. But as I said, that's brewing. That's home brewing. That's what we're doing. But, if you're doing something different, if you're trying different stuff, then you have failures. If you're not having failures, then I tend to say you're not really pushing what it is you're doing. I don't know. Maybe some people get lucky. Maybe I'm not so lucky. I know I can make good beer. I make good beer. I make good beer. Most of the time. I know I can churn out good recipes that I do regularly, and they come out great, and they're bloody beautiful beers. So the occasional experiment is going to go south. It's all good. That's very middle of the road anyway, that is. And again, no wonder we home brew. It's not hard to make better than bloody shit you buy in a bottle. Really not. But failures aside, moving forward, I'm going to get one of my cubed fresh wort kits into a fermenter in the next few days. Once I clear that, get this stout out of the fridge. And that's another experiment. I hope that one doesn't fail on me as well. I've got much better hopes for that one. I think that's going to be fine. But get back on the track, on the horse, as they say, and keep going, keep brewing. That's what I'm going to do. So, if you're out there, you're having failures, things are going wrong, don't worry about it. So you lose an hour or so emptying bottles and re-watching them, and you don't have to do it again. You might have to go and buy a carton of bloody VB to get you through the couple of weeks while you brew another one. But that's all part of the fun. It's all part of the adventure. It's all part of, what we're doing. If it was perfect all the time, it'd soon get pretty freaking boring. I love brewing beer. I love playing around. I love experimenting. I love seeing the things that you can produce. And that means sometimes I'm not going to like what I produce. But I'm happy with that. So that's all I'm going to have about that. That's plenty. So everybody out there, keep banging out what you're banging out. Keep trying new stuff. Keep doing the same thing. Whatever. Until I'm looking at you again. Good brewing.